Imagine unlocking your own gate, only to hear sirens blaring because some self-appointed neighborhood queen decided your grandfather's legacy was her personal playground. What started as a petty lockout spiraled into a takedown that exposed embezzlement, lies, and the kind of hypocrisy that makes you laugh through gritted teeth, until justice flipped the script and left her begging for mercy. In the sun-drenched cul-de-sacs of Willowbrook Estates, a cookie-cutter slice of American suburbia just outside Atlanta, the air always carried that faint whiff of fresh-cut grass mixed with unspoken resentment. It was the kind of place where white picket fences hid backyards full of secrets, and every mailbox bore the HOA's gleaming seal like a badge of enforced perfection. Jack Harlan had called it home for years. Ever since inheriting his late grandpa's modest ranch house, the one with the oversized backyard pool that predated the subdivision by decades. Grandpa, a World War II vet, had dug that pool himself, turning a dusty plot into a neighborhood oasis where kids splashed freely and barbecues lasted until the stars came out. No fees, no sign-ups, just good old-fashioned community without the fine print. Jack, a quiet IT consultant who worked from home, kept it that way. He wasn't the type to stir pots, he observed, fixed bugs and code for a living, and applied the same logic to life. But rumors had a way of twisting facts here. And lately, whispers painted him as the reclusive weirdo who hoarded the pool like some aquatic miser. He heard the gossip at the corner store, folks saying he was antisocial, maybe even shady for not joining the HOA's voluntary events. Jack just smiled inwardly, sipping his coffee, knowing the real story was buried in yellowed deeds at the county office. Evelyn Evie Marsden ruled Willowbrook like a benevolent dictator in pearls and khakis. As HOA president for 3 terms running, she spoke in honeyed tones about upholding standards and fostering unity, but her emails read like decrees from a petty kingdom. Evie was the epitome of polished control, mid-50s, yoga-toned, with a bob haircut sharper than her tongue. She patrolled the streets in her golf cart, clipboard in hand, noting infractions like overgrown hedges or unsightly bird feeders. It's all about property values, dear, she'd coo at meetings, her smile never reaching her eyes. But behind the facade, Evie feared nothing more than a challenge to her throne, especially from outsiders like Jack, whose property stubbornly sat outside HOA jurisdiction thanks to that ancient land patent. She manipulated opinions with surgical precision, posting in the neighborhood app about non-compliant residents dragging us down, always vague enough to avoid lawsuits but pointed enough to isolate. Jack ignored the first few passive-aggressive notes taped to his fence. Pool access should be equitable for dues-payers only. He chuckled privately at the absurdity, his pool, his rules, or lack thereof. But Evie wasn't one to back down. She saw his silence as weakness. And that's when the real games began. It started innocently enough, or so Evie framed it. One sweltering July afternoon, Jack decided to drain the pool for routine cleaning, the kind he'd done yearly without fanfare. As the water gurgled out, a nosy neighbor tipped off Evie, who arrived in her cart like a sheriff in a bad western. "Jack. Honey," she called over the fence, her voice dripping saccharine concern. "That drainage looks mighty suspicious. Our bylaws prohibit unauthorized water runoff. It could flood the common areas." Jack wiped sweat from his brow, tools in hand. "Evie, this pool's on my land. Been here since '48. No runoff issues in 70 years. She tilted her head, feigning sympathy. "Oh, I know. But standards evolve. Wouldn't want to devalue the neighborhood. Now would we?" That evening, a $150 fine arrived via certified mail for environmental noncompliance. Jack scanned it, noting the vague citations, no specifics. Just HOA gospel. He fired back a polite email with scanned deeds proving exemption, appreciate the concern. But federal patent trumps your charter. Let's not waste paper. Evie's reply was swift, we'll review. But unity requires participation. Translation, toe the line or else. Whispers escalated, group chats buzzed with Jack's polluting our streets and why is he so secretive? Jack stayed silent. But inside, he started a digital folder, timestamps. Photos. Every email. He knew code. And this was just buggy logic waiting to crash. The pressure cooker heated up when Evie amped her tactics. Blending bureaucracy with outright sabotage. A week later, Jack found his gate padlocked, not with his chain, but a shiny new one stamped HOA property. He rattled it. Bemused. As Evie pulled up. Sunglasses perched like armor. Safety measure. Jack, she said. Arms crossed. Unsecured pools are liabilities. We're protecting the children. He raised an eyebrow. My pool. Evie. And it's empty right now, how's that a threat? Her laugh tinkled like breaking glass. Oh. Details. Our inspector deemed it necessary. Pay the fine. Join up. And we'll unlock it pronto. Jack's neighbor. Old Mr. Patel. Wheeled by in his scooter. Frowning. Evie. That's his grandpa's spot. Leave the man be. She waved him off. Mr. Patel. Standards apply to all, or should I note your overgrown roses? Patel scooted away. Muttering. Jack didn't yell, he snapped photos. Then called a locksmith. But the rumors snowballed. App posts claimed Jack was aggressively resisting safety protocols, with edited pics showing him lurking by the fence. Deliveries to his house got misdirected, his internet flickered suspiciously, petty disruptions that screamed Evie's influence. One night. Spray paint appeared, pay up or leave. Jack stared at it under his porch light. Anger bubbling. But he hosed it off and added to his file. Patience, he whispered to himself. Echoing Grandpa's war stories. Evie. Meanwhile. Hosted a community safety brunch, beaming as attendees nodded to her tales of rogue elements threatening our harmony. We must enforce for the greater good, she preached. Sipping mimosa. While secretly rerouting HOA funds for her oversight expenses, new cart tires. Personal landscaping. Jack caught wind via a leaked receipt from a disillusioned board member. The irony burned, her preaching order while dipping into the till. Tensions boiled over when Evie's overreach hit a personal nerve. Jack's elderly aunt, who lived with him and relied on a ramp to the backyard for her daily swims, therapy for her arthritis, found it barricaded one morning with orange cones and tape. HOA maintenance, the sign read. Jack confronted Evie at her doorstep. Calm but firm. This blocks access. Evie. It's not even on your land. She peered out. Coffee in hand. Smirking. Temporary. Dear. Ensuring compliance with accessibility codes, ironically. Your pool's a hazard. Her eyes gleamed with faux morality. Think of the vulnerable. Jack's aunt watched from a window. Frustrated tears welling. That did it. Jack documented the obstruction. Then dug deeper, public records showed Evie had approved unpermitted work. Siphoning funds for it. He attended his first HOA meeting that night. Binder in tow. As Evie presided like a queen. Any concerns? She asked sweetly. Jack stood. Yeah. Misuse of funds. Here's proof your maintenance is illegal. And that ramp's on exempt property. Murmurs rippled. Evie flushed. Voice sharp. This is out of order. You're not even a member. Jack slid copies across the table. Exactly. Yet you're trespassing. And these invoices? Personal perks billed as community costs. She snatched one. Face reddening. Nonsense. I maintain standards, you're just bitter. The room shifted, a few neighbors whispered. Is that true? Evie banged her gavel. Meeting adjourned. But the seed was planted. Online. Anonymous tips flooded in, more embezzlement evidence. Jack compiled it all. His patience turning to precision strikes. Evie's facade cracked, she started avoiding him. But her posts grew desperate, disruptors won't divide us. The dark humor hit when her own golf cart got fined by a prankster for non-standard decals, mirroring her pettiness. Jack laughed alone. The gotcha moment sweet amid the rage. The explosion came at the annual HOA audit meeting. Packed with residents. Local reporters. And a county official Jack had quietly tipped off. Evie opened with her usual spiel, under my leadership. We've upheld excellence despite challenges from non-cooperators. Her smile was strained. Pearls clutching her neck like a noose. Jack waited his turn. Then projected slides, forged signatures. Redirected checks totaling $35,000, spa days. Home upgrades. All on HOA dime. This is an order, he said evenly. It's theft. Gasps echoed. Evie leaped up. Face contorted in furious shock. Veins bulging. Lies. He's fabricating this to sabotage me, because he hates rules. Jack countered. Voice steady, rules? Like your bylaws saying no personal use of funds? Or state law on embezzlement? She sputtered. I was reimbursing safety efforts. You outsiders don't understand commitment. Laughter bubbled from the back, nervous at first. Then genuine as her hypocrisy hung naked. Commitment to your wallet, someone quipped. Evie's confidence shattered, she paced. Panicked. This is a witch hunt. I built this community. The county rep stood. Folder in hand. Ma'am. The audit confirms irregularities. We'll need your records, now. Phones recorded her meltdown, you can't do this. I enforce for you ingrates. Deputies arrived. Sirens wailing, the same ones she'd called on Jack weeks earlier for trespass on his own land. As they cuffed her, she wailed. He's the criminal, hoarding that pool. Jack met her glare. No. Evie. You hoarded power. And it just backfired. The room erupted in stunned chatter. A mix of relief and schadenfreude. Evie was let out. Heels clicking like a defeated march. Her empire crumbling in real time. In the aftermath, Willowbrook exhaled. The HOA dissolved under county mandate. Reformed as a transparent co-op with open books, no more secret fines. Just voluntary upkeep. Jack's pool reopened to all. Kids splashing as Grandpa intended. Barbecues reigniting old bonds. Neighbors who'd shunned him now waved. Some even apologizing over fences. Didn't know the half of it, Mr. Patel said. Roses blooming unchecked. Evie faced charges, embezzlement. Trespass. Privacy violations from her spy cams. She got probation. Community service, irony of ironies. Cleaning public parks. Jack watched from afar. No gloating. Just quiet satisfaction. The air felt lighter. Rules now tools. Not weapons. Grandpa's legacy shimmered in the water. Unbroken. But as peace settled, whispers lingered, was Evie a monster? Or just a product of a system that rewards control freaks? So, tell me, was Evie the real villain? Or does every neighborhood have a little HOA tyrant waiting to emerge when no one's watching?